You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.
Rick Ross has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to smoke. But does Drake want to smoke? But does Drake want to smoke? We're getting a little long time in between responses, 3-2. Last week's episode, we talked about how, like, the first person who shoots the shot has the benefit because we don't know how long he's been writing. We don't know if he has another clip in the chamber. So the person who goes second is at the mercy because we give them a 48-hour window. So, with that being said, Ross entered the chat. He wants to smoke. J. Cole apologized. What do you think about a potential Drake-Ross beef? And we can get into the other particulars of Birdman siding with Drake and whatever.
I didn't think we see this one coming, honestly. Like, nobody knew that Ross had some real serious issues with Drake. So when he entered the chat, it was kind of like nobody saw that one coming. We were waiting on K-Dot to respond. And then Ross just put out another response. So Ross had already dropped 2 responses within a week. So, and he wants all the smoke. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a joint with Pusha lined up, ready to go.
Oh, no, Pusha already commented. He said, I'm done. I got mine. I got mine already. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Drake still ain't recovered from that one.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, with Ross entering the chat, which, again, remember I told you, should Ross be in the big 3? If so, who should we take out? I don't know if Ross heard the podcast. He probably didn't. But he seemed like he's one of those dudes that's like, nah, let's get him up out of here type shit. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to be a big 3, it's not going to be because of him. And that's what I told you guys. You know what I mean? When it comes to music, forget the sales. That's just like how we talk about the GOAT, right? We try to take, we want to take out the rings because rings doesn't make you a great player. You could be at the right place at the right time. We talk about Robert Horry. He has 7 of them. Is he greater than Jordan? Fuck no. But he has 7 rings. Because of that, gotta take rings out because even with Bill Russell and all of them, they deserve GOAT conversation for their time. There's some 70-year-olds that'll be like, Bill Russell, greatest of all time. Wilt, oh, I was there. I seen the 100-point game. Nigga, you lying. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? You got those you got those old heads that can be like them. Nobody's doing that shit with Robert Horry. Right. I say all of that to say when Drake talks about money, albums sold, streams, no, fuck that. Throw that shit away. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about lyrics, music, songwriting, all of that shit. Ross is getting the people is exposing Drake for what he is, which is a good musician. He makes great music, but when it gets down to the shit of music, it ain't for him, bro.
I mean, you look at the context, even when he responded to K-Dot, it was about sales, hits, contract splits. Didn't he do the same thing with me?
Yeah, he does that with everybody. That's why I'm not impressed.
Yeah. So he always refers back to that. What he say is this a world tour or your girl's tour? You know.
Damn, that line hurt. Damn, that was a hurtful line though. World tour, your girl's tour.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was
now he'll throw some daggers. He'll throw some daggers out there. You know how you big stepping with a size 7 shoe. You know.
Yeah. I mean, Drake could get you. Drake could get you a couple times.
Yeah, he'll get you with a couple of daggers. But overall, like, yeah, I wasn't really moved like how everybody else was. You know, it's just like, all right, it's the same thing he says against me. Same thing he said anybody else. Contract splits, money, sales. You ain't had this without me type thing, whatever. Same.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, and I've heard now this is the thing too that kind of now I don't know if this is true or this probably isn't true. There was a Drake response that came out, but everyone said it was AI. Are you hip to this?
Yeah. It wasn't him.
Yeah. And you can tell it wasn't him because it was like, for you to be in a battle with somebody, there's a different level of energy that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
that AI Drake shit just sound like normal Drizzy just talking. You know what I'm saying? Just saying the shit that you want him to say, but it's not with the same energy. And that's how you could tell it was AI. Because even when I was tweeting, I'm like, oh, did Drake respond? Or did Drake AI respond? Is Ross going to respond? Or is Ross AI going to respond? Basically, like, yo, we're not even probably getting a real battle between these two motherfuckers for real. But the only reason we know that Ross is really putting pen to paper saying shit is because he's posting it on his own page. Until you post it on your own page, I ain't believing it's you.
It's crazy that we're at a point now where we're like, all right, is this really them or is it AI? Like, that's where we are in the world of technology. Which, I mean, we knew it was coming, but it's just wild to see it like get to this point.
The illest Pusha T verse was a verse he never did. That's how gangsta AI is. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Fucking insane. But I think that I feel like Drake is going to respond, but it's going to be so... Because even Ross put on an IG that he was like, yo, it's taking too long. I'm getting bored with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about to go to no street shit for real. This is just music. It's music. You know what I'm saying? So I believe Drake is... Because it's too many shots being fired at this man. We're going to talk about Future and Metro Boomin albums that they dropped in a couple minutes. Because everybody's throwing shots on that shit. Like, damn. Like one song I'm bumping is Future, Metro Boomin, and The Weeknd. Smooth joint. It's off of the We Still Don't Trust You, which is more of an R&B-ish type ballad.
Right.
Man, when you get killed when an R&B nigga sings this shit to you, oh man. We'll cross that bridge. We'll cross that bridge. We want to keep finishing with the Ross conversation real quick. So, if Drake enters the chat, because it seemed like everybody wants Drake to enter the chat, Ross and Drake, who do you think will come out on top? No Diddy.
You caught on.
Yeah, man.
I want to say Ross because I like Ross's pen game. F it, yeah. I'll go with Ross.
I think a lot of us will go with Ross. We put on a poll at the SS Experience. No E at the beginning of experience on Twitter or X. How you get down these digital streets. Drake or Ross in a battle. Who you running with? I'm going with Ross too because I don't like people who use ghostwriters. I don't care. Like, even if it is a line, whatever, but using a line doesn't constitute you using a ghostwriter. You know what I'm saying? That could just be like a friendly advice or whatever. But when you're accused of having ghostwriters, like Ross is getting back into that 50 mode of trolling a nigga, you know what I'm saying, type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember, I would say 50 is however many times he trolls in one. The one person 50 lost to was Ross. No matter how much of that Officer Ricky shit happened, and the reason why Ross won is because Ross is still here.
And still making music and still touring.
Exactly. He went to war with Fat Joe. Fat Joe sat down for a minute, but he ended up getting back on. Ja Rule, 50 ended a couple people.
Fat Joe turned into a podcaster.
But he still had some music after the fact. Like, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like Ja Rule where it seemed like everyone was rocking with, somewhat rocking with Ja Rule, and then all of a sudden, man, I don't listen to Ja Rule. Nigga, you had Rule 336 in your car. I seen you. I was flipping through the album shit. I seen it.
Yeah, you had Pain is Love when it first came out, bro. What y'all doing?
Yeah, come on, bro. You had the Ja Rule albums. What the fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? It was right there. So 50 did that. So for the simple fact that Ross is back at it and he's doing it towards Drake, and Drake doesn't really have that creative clapback, so to speak, outside of just mentioning accolades, Yeah, it's gonna be a long night.
You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.